It is Friday, September 24th, 2021 of the year our Lord, 9:06 a.m. I woke up at 4 o'clock this morning. I just couldn't really sleep, so I got up. So I've been awake since then, and overall, I had a good sleep overall. I woke up and I was just kind of up. I was like, all right. So that was cool. The day before, I had I woke up and I was like awake. Like at 7 o'clock, my alarm rang and I was awake. I was like, okay. So yeah, so lately I've been going to bed at 10 to get try to get 7 to 8 hours. Um, the One of the things I've been doing in the last little while since the last update is trying to read some self-help betterment books. I bought I have an e-reader now, which is awesome, and I bought a few books. So I read through Bryan Cranston's book, which is pretty good. I started reading the How to Make Friends and Win People or whatever book, but it's just stories. It's just like the first 100 pages is like, here's a story about the author. Now here's more about the author. Now here's more about the author. So I was like, okay, I don't give a fuck. So I started reading it and I was like, okay, this is like just here's the point, and then there's like 50 pages of stories. I was like, I don't care. So the beginning of the book has like, I don't know, a few pages, maybe 20 or something like that, of like the summary, and I was like, okay. So I grabbed that, and I don't really remember much, but it was like, all right, yeah, I kind of do this already, and or kind of stuff like I already know, so not that big of a deal. And then I started reading The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, which overall was a good book. I took some things from it, but it was very based in religion and spirituality, which I wasn't all about. And then that book, so I talked to Matt about that book, and he gave me two other books, which I just finished, The Secret, 2 days ago, I think. And that's more of what the power of your subconscious mind was about. And then there's another book that I'm going to start, which is the Synchronicity Key, which I believe he said is more of that. So basically, these books in particular are about the law of attraction, essentially, where think of what you want, and the universe will bring it to you. The Secret was much less based in spirituality, and it really only, I think, touched on it like once near the end. And I like that one a lot more than I like the subconscious mind one. That one kind of made me roll my eyes a lot with some of the things they were talking about, the powers that people were getting. So, but overall, like I think I understood this a lot better with The Secret. And so before I read The Secret, so with the subconscious mind book, I read it like literally the first chapter. The first time I read it, I read like a first chapter or whatever, and I was like, okay, I get the concept. So I went to bed that night, and there was a ticket that I was working on at work that I was just kind of stressing out about, and I was really not looking forward to doing that day. Because that was the Thursday I went to bed, and then Friday was the day I was going to be doing that ticket. And it was like a whole bunch of Outlook errors, like moving pop accounts to another profile in Windows, and all this stuff that I was like, I'm not really sure about. I don't really want to do any of this, and it's just stressing me out. On top of that, it was me Friday, so like I'm gonna have a great day. I'm going to be happy. It's gonna be a very quick day, and it's gonna be a very simple day, a very easy day, right? But I'm gonna be busy enough that like it doesn't go slow, but it's gonna be like simple stuff. So I woke up the next morning. I was in a good mood. Went to work, and literally that day flew by. That ticket. So I called the customer, and he's like, "Yeah, I did everything myself. It's all taken care of." I was like, "No way, dude. What?" So that was like a crash course, like the universe saying, by the way, what you're reading works, which is strange because it's kind of hippy dippy stuff, but at the same time, it's like it was interesting how that works. And The Secret kind of expanded upon that, where it said that literally everything you've ever had in your life has been attracted to you in some way by the law of attraction, which to some extent I kind of agree with. So like I was looking back on my life and I was like, okay, I see where they're getting that from, and I can see like, okay, I can see how that would have attracted that to me. So that's been a really interesting way of looking about things, and I've noticed myself very much so changing the way I think, because one of the things that I talked about in The Secret is how you should look on the positive side of things, obviously. So there's two ways, two similar but separate things where they talked about that. So they said, first of all, when it comes to the positivity aspect, like for example, one of the things I remember is don't be anti-war, be anti-peace, or lol, don't be anti-war, be pro-peace. And look at like the positive aspect of that, because if you're focusing on the negative, more of the negative stuff will come to light. And then so that was interesting. And then the other thing was how if you're feeling a negative emotion, essentially they were saying, don't feel that. So don't be mad. Don't be sad. Which at face value, you go, well, no shit, I've never tried that. Thank you so much for that brilliant suggestion. But they kind of broke it down a little bit more, where they said, like, obviously you're going to have this feeling, but try not to focus on that. Try to focus on something else. Try to focus on even something irrelevant that you're thankful for, that you're happy about. Think of, like, go watch something happy. Like, put yourself in a position where you're going to be happy, because in that position, you put yourself on this frequency, you try to think happy thoughts, and eventually happy thoughts will start getting to you. Happy things will start happening to you. And that's the whole concept. And I've noticed that this week, like, specifically this week, I was really kind of putting that in that practice, where things were happening where I was like, it would annoy me, and I would be like, okay, try not to be annoyed, think of the positive. Like, how much really of a burden is this on you? And really, how much does it affect you? What is something you're happy about? And so I started thinking about that. I started changing my perspective. And this week, I felt it was a very busy week at work, but I felt very kind of peaceful, not peaceful, but like it was busy this week. And I just was very kind of neutral for the most part. And that's, with the amount of work I needed to do, that was very not normal for me. So that's been a really interesting and exciting thing for me, that I'm changing kind of the way my brain is thinking, and I'm starting to kind of level out, and so to speak. And this is kind of what I was looking for in these books, is a way to change my mentality, or change the way I live, to try to be better. And specifically with the law of attraction, there's a lot of things you can attract. They eventually said, they did say that literally anything you want in your life, you can attract. And Matt, when I was talking to Matt about this, and the story about the next day at work with the office, and the guy saying he fixed it, he was like, yeah, I did that too. When I wanted to go to school, I had a date. I was like, I'm going to school on this day. And everyone was like we've never had applications come back, because he was going through like government funding and stuff. He's like, we've never had someone with that quick of a turnaround. Like, you're not going. And he went. Like, you might get approved, but you're not starting that day. And he got approved, and he started that day. And so what I've been trying to do is really, like, as I keep thinking, I'm trying to solidify my belief more so in this law of attraction, because there's definitely still a little bit of skepticism, but the whole theory is that the more you believe, the more you put yourself on this frequency of positivity and frequency of getting these things, and yet you truly believe not only that you're going to get it, but that you already have it. Like, this already come to you. Like you act as if you have this. It'll come to you. The universe will find a way for this to come to you. And I've been trying to really put myself on that frequency, and it's obviously I had like these big aspirations where I'm asking the universe a lot. And I was like, okay, I can ask that, but why don't I start somewhere smaller? So one of the things in The Secret is, like, just to build your faith in this law of attraction, start with, like, they use the example of attract a cup of coffee to yourself every day, because that's something you do. Because they said, like, it's easier for you to say, I want $1, and believe that you can get that dollar. It's easy because it's $1, right? It's not unheard of to get that. But if you ask yourself, I want $1 million, that's when you're like, well, okay, like, sure, I want that, but how am I going to get that? Like, how's it going to come to me? Like, what do I have to do to get that? And they're like, don't worry about that. The universe will do that. So build your faith in that by attracting small things to you, and you realize, oh my God, this actually works. And then slowly but surely, you'll be able to think of these greater things and then attract them to you. So I have a few things that I'm working on, trying to attract. All of them are within the realm of possibility, and I truly believe these things will happen. And I'm just waiting on them. And I have no doubt that they're going to happen. And once they do, like, these things are things that, like, they're not unheard of. They're not like crazy things that could happen, but they're like, why would this happen? So if these things happen, I'm like, or when they happen, I'm going to be like, okay, well, like, my it's going to boost that belief in the universe. And it's just very interesting. I'm really, really happy I read these books. I'm really excited to kind of put this into play for the rest of my life, really, and yeah, see what happens. So I'll keep you posted on that, Mike. But so far, like, it's been a very, like, it's almost an immediate change in the way I'm thinking and the way I'm trying to act and behave and just live. So that's interesting. I'm gonna make a note just so because it's easier to in the descriptions to see these. So attraction. So that's kind of the main thing I wanted to talk about. And that I'm reading about, and then there's a whole like slew of books I've put on my wish list that I'm going to be reading, and hopefully I'm excited. Like I'm excited to hopefully be a better person, and it's interesting. So I'm excited to be a better person. I'm going to be a better person, and yeah. So from there, I'll move into very quickly food. I started. I looked up these places that cook meals for you and then deliver them on a weekly basis. So similar to how like HelloFresh or whatever, like they'll deliver the ingredients and you have to cook it. These guys take that out and they literally make it, and then you just have to microwave it. And that's what I was looking for. It's like, I don't want to make this shit. So there were 3 places I bought. It went from, so basically the 3 places were most expensive, around the same expensive, and then not as expensive but still expensive. So low tier, it's 85 a week. High tier, it's 115 a week, which is crazy. So, and then the middle one was like 105. So the 105 one, the mid tier, was the one I got first. Overall, it's okay. Like, it's definitely doable. The portion sizes could be bigger, but they're definitely like I'm not starving after, which is fine. The second one came in yesterday, and I already know this is the front runner. Like, almost 100, like 99% sure, unless like the $115 one that comes in on October 3rd, I think, comes in, and it's like amazing. Like, I need to spend $115 a week on this. I'm going to stick with this mid-tier one, or this low-tier one. Because, first of all, it's the cheapest, but also the portion sizes are unreal. Like, they're massive. Like, I ate yesterday, and I was like, I don't know if I'll be able to finish this. And I was full when I was done. Yesterday was, I don't remember what it was, but there's shrimp in it, which I've had once when I was a kid. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like this, but I'm going to get it anyway. It just had a little bit of a fishy taste, but it was fine overall. But yeah, it was really, really good. I wish I remember what it was called. I probably looked it up, but whatever. But it was so good. And, like, when looking at these portions, I'm like, this is massive. So that's great. And then the other one, like I said, comes in a couple weeks. So it's 6 meals per week, and it's just nice because it's like a lot of variety. I don't have to think about it. I come home, I microwave, done. And yeah, if I can fit that into a budget when I move out, that would be great, because then I wouldn't need to worry about food at all. Because it's like, I know I'm going to get good food that is healthy for me, and I don't have to think about it. Just come home and microwave it. So that's good. I've also started looking at apartments and townhouses and stuff to see what I can get. Rent here sucks. And really, like right now, my main requirement is the place has to have AC. So I'm looking at newer places, and those are going to be a little bit more expensive. And there's not really a whole lot of options within my price range. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm looking, and I'm hopeful to find the right place for me. I would really prefer to have somewhere that is either a small building of an apartment or like a townhouse, because I don't want to be like dragging shit up and down floors when I'm moving. So that would be nice. But that's just something there. Gaming wise, Diablo 2 Resurrected came out yesterday. I haven't really been excited about it. I'm not necessarily looking forward to it. I still haven't played. Yesterday was just really busy at work. I got home, chilled for a bit, and this morning I was listening to podcasts and downloading some music. But overall, I'm going to play it later today, and we'll see. I'm sure I'll like it. I like the beta. I don't know why I'm not excited, but whatever. TF2, continuing to play it. It's definitely not as played. Like, I'm not spending my entire day playing it now, but still spending a decent amount of hours. I think like last week I spent probably around 9 or 10 hours on it overall. So that's that. I haven't played StarCraft really much, or at all really, since like a little bit after the last vlog. And Battlefield 2042 was delayed until November something. I think I just got a notification. I did get a notification today that it's now 56 days away. So that sucks. I was hoping for beta to come out while I was off, but it is what it is. Speaking of being off, I have today off, and then all of next week off, and then the next week off. So initially I was just going to have today off, the next week, and then the Monday, but next Thursday is a holiday. So I was like, okay, well, can I take that vacation day, stick it to the Tuesday that I was going to come back? And then I think at that point I had 60 hours of loot time. Can I just take 3 days and add that to the other week and just be off for 2 weeks? So I got that done. So I was like, sick. So I'm off for 2 weeks, and I'm very, very excited about that. So looking forward to just chilling out and relaxing, maxing all cool and all, shoot some people outside of school. I think right now I should have, after yesterday, 42 or 43 hours of loot time left. So still plenty, and plenty more to come, because ISO is not done, and I don't know. There's still people who haven't started procedures. There's still procedures in progress. Still stuff that needs risk assessments done. I look to be the only one. I am the only one who's done risk assessments and kind of working towards stuff getting done. So, yeah, that's been that. And work otherwise has been very busy. I'm managing, which is nice. I'm kind of, again, I keep comparing it to like this time last year, or even before then, I was just super stressed. Like this calendar would have just stressed me out so much. And there is definitely some stressful moments, but for the most part, I'm managing. If I don't get to it, I don't get to it. If I don't know the answer, I'll find out. And so that's that. They are hiring. They're trying to find someone. It's crazy how hard it is to find someone. Like even Matt was saying, he was hiring at his place, and he's like these people, like, they have 20 years experience, but you ask them a simple question, they don't know the answer. It's like, what the fuck? So yeah, we're just having the same issue there, and it's just tough. And I can't wait until someone is able to help. Like even just having another technician would be fantastic. We did have an intern start a couple weeks ago. He's definitely newer to IT in general. Like for example, simple things like copying. Like he's still a right-click copy, right-click paste. He knows Control C, Control V, but he prefers that. He's very, very hesitant to do anything without asking you. He seems to ask questions instead of looking for it himself, which was causing frustration, especially like the later part of this week, when I was trying to finish up stuff that like I wanted to get to before the end of the week. And he's like, "Hey, can I ask you a question?" And there are a few times where he would ask me that, and like I'd just be busy, so I wouldn't get to it for like 40 minutes, and then he'd answer back, "Never mind, found it." It's like, okay, well, do that. Don't, like, if you can find it, do that. And I've been trying to instill in him, like, you can ask us, but what we're trying to do is instill in you the ability to find the answer on your own. So there were a few times where he would ask me a question, and I was like, okay, Google it. Essentially, is what I said. Like this is you're getting an error. Okay, Google it. Like, I don't know the answer, so Google it. So that's been a little frustrating. I'm hoping this hesitancy, this nervousness goes away, because it would be great if you could work on more than just monthly checklists. And there was one ticket. He only had one ticket so far when he was interacting with a customer, and it was just seeing whether or not a user who had global admin should still have global admin. And he kept asking me, like, so how should I word this? You know, what should I say? What should I do? Not that they replied. Just do it. Like it's. So I'm hoping that goes away. I hope by the time I come back, that's done with. But don't have to worry about it for now. And yeah, wrestling wise, CM Punk did debut on August 20th when I last made my vlog. One of the greatest pops of all time. I think a couple weeks later, or maybe a month later, Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon, came in with Adam Cole. AEW is on a whole nother level right now. They are just unbelievable. It's super exciting to be an a wrestling fan and AEW fan. So that's been fantastic. They just had Bryan Danielson's first match in AEW on Wednesday with Kenny Omega on Dynamite. We just gave that away for free, which was awesome. Pretty good match. Ended up in a draw, which makes sense. You don't want the champion to lose. You don't want the guy to, on his first match, like a hype match, to lose. So kind of the best way to go there without having a screwy finish, like a DQ. So that was nice. Extreme Rules is this Sunday, which I'm not excited about it, but I mean, it could be good. Typically, overall pay-per-views haven't been too bad lately, so that's cool. Looking forward to that. Going over to Match Checks for that. I gotta get some garlic bread, so I was gonna go do that shortly. Because looking yesterday, I had a reboot, so I couldn't spend too much time in a grocery store, but I don't know, like, I didn't see any garlic bread, so I was like, there's gotta be garlic bread here. Where the hell is that garlic bread? He's like, yeah, the grocery store has the best one. I was like, okay, looking for it, can't find it, great. So I'm gonna go do that, and wrestling, what's the other one? Music-wise, continuing to listen, lots of things that I'm enjoying kind of working through my one playlist, which I realized, or my one folder, which I realized, based on the amount of days left in the year and the amount of folders left in there, I'm not going to finish that this year, but early-ish next year, hopefully, and then I can move on to two. So that's nice. And the only thing I wanted to mention music-wise also is that Spirit Box's album Eternal Blue. I listened to that. I was like, wow. I listened to it again. I was like, oh my god, like this is a really good album. So that's going to be spun around a few times. That's a really, really good album. So that was cool. I think New Angels and Airwaves came out today, and I think there was something else that was supposed to come out today. But cool, cool, cool. Good stuff there. And other than that, in general, I am happy. I'm healthy. Things are going well. And yeah, I don't know, I feel hopeful. Like all this, the law of attraction stuff it's got me hopeful, and I'm excited to continue building myself. And in all honesty, I don't know if I mentioned this, but this all came from a mushroom trip. I did that mushroom trip, and I came out of it thinking like I want to improve myself. And one of the things that I've been meaning to do, just haven't gotten around to it because I've just been lazy, is I wanted to make a list of things to improve that I don't, not that I don't like about myself, but things that like I think can be better. So physically, things that could be better. So like for example, one of the things I did was I bought like a hair oil that I've been putting in my hair, and it's been seems to be working nice. My hair's been pretty nice. I bought paste for gel instead of gel for my hair. But like, so physically, how do I want to improve myself? But then like emotionally, mentally, and yeah, just kind of make that list and go through it. And mentally and emotionally, kind of combined there is reading the books that I have on my wish list, which is there's at least 30 now. So yeah. And actually, one more thing, the white shoes. I don't know if I mentioned this. I was looking at these Nikes that I wanted to buy, so that way I'd had Vans, Nike, and Adidas all. So then my Vans would be my black and whites, my Adidas would be my blacks, and then my Nikes would be my whites. But I could not get those shoes. So eventually, I saw the Adidas that I have in black that I know I love. Those are my favorite shoe I've ever had in my life. I saw them in white, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I bought it. They came in, and I've worn them once so far, and they immediately the same feeling as my black ones. With the black ones, it was a little bit of a change because it was like I had to get used to the feeling because there was like this kind of in the middle of my foot there was like a bump, like in the shoe. So it was like kind of, I don't know if I wore that down or just kind of got used to it, but like kind of getting used to the feeling of that in the shoe. But now like it's so comfortable, and but immediately with those white shoes, it was I was just magnifico. I think my right shoe, I think I've loosened it up a little bit too much, so it pretty much slides off my foot whenever I take a step. So I've got to probably tighten that down. But overall, like yeah, I'm super happy. And just something simple like that makes me happy. So that's great. So I've got the three shoes that I wanted. Not necessarily the brands, but those white shoes look great, and I'm very happy, and I'm going to wear them out today when I go do some more shopping, just to kind of wear them in a little bit more. So I'll leave it there for now. I'm going to chill for a bit, continue listening to some podcasts. I have like 80 things in there. Hopefully going to catch up with everything over the course of this vacation. And then yeah, so that's it for September. Doses.